this now is another uphill step, and you can see Jeritic, I reckon Perdue might be catching up Jeritic, you know. I reckon she might be. That gap between second and third is diminishing, and that will encourage Charlotte Perdue. And she really is moving well. Helen Clitheroe's been dropped, that's for sure. She's not making any headway at all. But certainly Perdue, look at that, very aggressive, really hits the hills, doesn't she? Look at the sliding green. But this is away, and Kaboo is away. Well, the Mabishi break not significant, and how this is similar to what happened in the Great North Run. I keep referencing back, but this is exactly what happened, because certainly Jonathan Mayo went or tried to go away from Mathathi, but he couldn't do it, and Mathathi then attacked. And once again, we've now got, well, an interesting situation here. The defending champion now finds himself in second place. Well, look at the lead that Lucy Kaboo has got. A little glance over the shoulder there. Total relaxation. The face relaxed, the shoulder relaxed, good stride length. That's lovely technique. Absolutely wonderful technique.
16:58 at 5K, so she's only moving just inside 34-minute paces, Kaboo, but I'm sure the second half will be quicker. It certainly will be for little Charlotte Perdue here, because she's got past Jeritic, as you can see, the Commonwealth champion in the marathon, and now there's no good getting past somebody and easing off and having a breather, because they sit in your shoulder. What she's got to do here, Stuart, is get her head down and really push hard for this next 3 or 4 minutes and try and get a gap. And you can see Jeritic there in third place, the tall Kenyan, working very, very hard. She'll be aware of that. She needs to, as she's doing, she's getting in the slipstream of Perdue, and she'll just dog her heels now. But young Charlotte here, if you're going to go past somebody, you've got to make sure you go right past them. It's no good going past them and just sitting 1 meter ahead.
Look at this, Tim. Mabishi, he's not happy with staying behind. He's having another go.
Well, I just wonder if this will become tactical, or if they will just keep trying to knock chunks out of each other here. And Mabishi maybe sensed a slight slackening in the tempo there from Mathathi and goes to the front once again. Mathathi there in second place as we approach halfway is a massive talent. He set a world junior record for 10 miles when he was 18. Listen to this. When he was 18, he ran 44:51 for 10 miles, one of the quickest times ever recorded for 10 miles. So he's got plenty of strength to go with that speed. Mabishi here will be well aware of that, I'm sure, even though he's only a youngster. He's only 20 to Mathathi's 25. He's in the Kenyan police force, actually, is Mabishi here. He is, in effect, state-sponsored. So many of the Kenyan athletes are in the army or the police force, and they rarely, as I understand it, see a uniform. But he's giving it another go here, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Don't think there's any love lost.
No, not at all. You mentioned that fastest performance of 44:51 by 10 miles by Mathathi. Well, just mentioning the man to beat his record with 5 kilometers left was Haile Gebrselassie, of course. So that's a big name and a big landmark. But look at this. It's about 10-15 meters probably now between the defending champion and the challenger. Jeritic. Can she hang on to the young Brit? Perdue ups her stride pattern. Look at that, the cadence increases, her leg speed increases, tries to get away. Jeritic desperately trying to stay in contact, the marathon expert, the Commonwealth champion in the marathon, the tall figure in third place now. But let's not forget that this young woman has totally controlled the race, just as she did in the Great North Run. She took it over and loves to front run. She's fresh. She's only had, what, this is her third race of the season, with just 3 kilometers to go now in this race. And that is a very, very big lead indeed. This is a good run from Humphries.
It's a great run from Tom Humphries. Good to see, because he was a wonderful junior athlete, Tom Humphries. Hasn't really come on this last 4 or 5 years as one might have expected. He's got a good gap, and he's moving well too, isn't he? There's a real power to his running here. He's not on his uppers, he's not back on his heels, the hips haven't dropped. Keneally back in fourth place. He's only about 40 or 50 meters down, but it's really good to see Tom Humphries going well here. He's only run 13:47 for 5,000. I think there are big chunks to come off that from this young man. If he can get his training right this next winter, then there's big chunks to come off that, because clearly he's going into the winter in very good shape, and that's important. Mathathi here back in front. I think they've swapped the lead about 5 or 6 times now.
Very interesting to know which of these men will prevail. They've both got sprint finishes. They're both quality in terms of their strength endurance and their speed endurance. There's no question about that. Look at this. Charlotte Purdue is getting away. She's certainly getting away from the Commonwealth Marathon champion and Irina Jerotic, the Kenyan. And it may well be that the Kenyan is beaten on this occasion, because look at the determination. She knows she's a long way behind Kabu, but she's really attacking this race. She wants a time out of this. She wants to test herself. This is an opportunity for her to test herself. Looks confident. Look at the determination on her face. I love the way she has the attitude. Her body language is terrific each time she runs. She's a confident young woman, and that's going to see us in great stead in the future, certainly. Still one, then the other. Mathathi leading, and Bishi in second place. Each one dominating. Now, is this a little break attempt by Mathathi? Bishi has tried to get away, he couldn't. Mathathi's tried to get away, couldn't yet, but this looks to be a little bit more positive. There's a little bit of a gap opening up here, and I just wonder whether Mathathi feels that this is the point of the race, he can get away, but Mbishi's really working hard behind. Look at the look on his face. You can just about see the look on his face. He's really hurting now with just 3 kilometers to go.
Here's Kabu then, another slight downhill section. She's striding out so strongly. You get the feeling she could keep going at this speed for another few miles, don't you, as she did in that half marathon, the Great North Run 2 weeks back. Purdue, you can see just back there in the distance, probably 150 meters down. I don't think there's a great deal of difference between the tempo of the leader here, Kabu, and Charlotte Purdue, but the gap was established between 5 kilometers and 7 kilometers. That was the 2 kilometer section where the Great North Run champion here did the damage, and having established that lead, has just maintained it.
These two absolutely flying. Mbishi's taking the lead. Mathathi in second place now. First it's one, then it's the other. What a race.
Well, Mbishi, chatting to him last night, like so many of the Kenyans, gets up at 6 a.m. every morning, does his main session of the day, 60 or 70 minutes every morning of running at about 6 a.m. And as he got the gap now, Mathathi here has a much shorter pitter-patter stride here, but he's the smaller of the two by quite a few inches. And Mbishi here used that downhill just to up his tempo a little bit and ease away. And the hard training that this young man relishes every day back in Kenya, paying dividends here. He is the defending champion, Stuart, and he's making a very, very strong attempt to retain that title here.
This is his final effort, there's no question about that. And has Mathathi got a finish to compare? At the moment, it doesn't look like it. It looks as though Mbishi could come away now. This is a significant break, certainly, and Mathathi can't match it. Came off that corner not as quick as he would want. And Mbishi absolutely flying now, heading down towards the last 1,000 meters, last kilometer, and then towards the finish. And this is the break, and it's happened in the last, 400 meters or so. This has been a run which we shall celebrate for some time. It's not going to be the fastest time we've seen in this, I don't think, but at the end of the day, this is one of the most decisive wins we've seen. And remember who won last year? Let me remind you, Florence Kiplagat, who won the Berlin Marathon. Will this be the route that this young woman takes too?
Kabu then comes towards the line. It's been a very, very dominant run from the Kenyan. Winner of the Great North Run, winner of the Edinburgh Great Run here today. And a fabulously competent performance, dominant performance from the Kenyan. Here's Charlotte Purdue, about 30 seconds down. This a run from a young girl who's had a very, very frustrating year with that operation back in June on one of her knees, keyhole surgery she had, but she's bounced back. The winter lies ahead. She's a cross-country specialist, and certainly I think we'll see her have a great run in the forthcoming European cross-country championships, the World cross-country championships, and second place here. Well, I think we're probably looking at the young lady who will make the Olympic team next year. That winning time, 32.28 for Kabu, Purdue 32.58. And here is Jerotic. She'll be about 20 seconds down on second place. This is a fabulous ding-dong between this pair.
I tell you what, he's closing the gap again. He is. He's closing the gap again. We've got 4 or 5 metres, and McCarthy's not finished yet. Oh, he's coming alongside surely soon, and McCarthy will put the pressure. Now, what effect will that have on Mbishi? When if he can get alongside, Mbishi hits it again. Really pumps hard again. And the gap still not, it's not closed any more than it had before, but McCarthy really looking strong still. He believes, doesn't he? And he's coming up again. Here he comes. Well, what about that?
Little grimace on the face of McCarthy here. Both these men have run 26.59 for 10,000. That's top order running for 25 laps on the track. And he goes past Mbishi. And I wonder if the youngster shot his bolt there. 9 kilometres in what, about 25.27, something like that. 1 kilometre to go. It's going to be very, very close to the course record, Stuart. And they might well break it with the calibre of running they're having to put down through this this bust-up between the two.
And Tom Humphries still in 3rd place now, the Briton, settling into 3rd place, and there's being closed in a little bit by Mark Keneally, the Irishman. But this is a race of some consequence.
Well, I tell you what, it's not over. Mbishi in the background is pumping away, desperately trying to close this gap. But McCarthy here is the smoother of the two runners, isn't he? Look at that. There's lovely fluid style. A little glance over his shoulder there just to try and sense any presence of Mbishi. But the gap is probably 20, 25 metres. If he can just maintain this tempo, keep a little bit in reserve in case he's challenged on the sprint in with those final couple of turns near Holyrood Palace. But I think he's got this one sorted, despite the desperate attempts from Mbishi to come back at him in the background. That gap is staying at about 20 metres.
McCarthy then in the final stages of this wonderful, wonderful 10 kilometres. Mbishi makes another effort, flat out in sprint mode as they approach the final stages. The defending champion in 2nd place at the moment, the winner of the Great North Run, the recent winner of the Great North Run, is the man who's going to take this title. It really is a fantastic result. Look at this, only 30 metres or so to go in the straight, and it's going to be Martin McCarthy, and it's going to be a wonderful, look at the clock now, and that looks to me as though that's going to be about 28 minutes. Mbishi in 2nd place, it should be a course record, we'll check on that in a moment. But that was a great, great race, and I use the word great advisedly there. It was a great race. And Tom Humphries, he's going to come into 3rd place, and that's a quality run, and he's got a little bit of sprint left in him just to get him. He's seen the clock, and he wants a good time, and he's got it with Keneally coming in behind him. But what a good race that was. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Well, let's just update that men's result then. Martin McCarthy, 28.03, a new course record for the, in fact, the first 2 were inside the course record. Titus Mbishi, 28.08, just 5 seconds down. Tom Humphries, a great run, 29.18 in 3rd place.
Well, the women's race was of quite a different nature. Lucy Caboo running through the 2nd half very aggressively, winning comfortably there, 30 seconds ahead of young Charlotte Purdue. Great run that from the young Briton coming back from injury. Arin Jeritic, the Kenyan, in 3rd place.
Yeah, I'm so happy to win this. It is my first race in this race. I'm so happy to win.
I feel very happy because this is my 2nd race in UK and I have won both. Yeah, I feel very happy because of the organization and the people around who came to share me in this race. Thank you.
That's it from Edinburgh, but we have 3 more races for you in the next few weeks. Sheffield is our next stop for the Bupa Great Yorkshire Run. Then we go to the Midlands for the Bupa Great Birmingham Run. And finally, it's to Portsmouth for the Bupa Great South Run. For more information on all those races, please head to greatrun.org.